What is going on, guys? This Brothers All Gaming with my review of Akame Got Killed episode 9, and once again we have another fantastic episode. And even though we got so many new characters in one episode, we also got some pretty good action as well. Tatsumi is definitely getting better, and you can tell that right now his character is definitely developing, pretty nicely. But the episode itself, it starts off with Mime actually, and she's a character that we have not seen in a while, and we see now that like her body is finally healed and she can now fight again, and obviously she wants to avenge Shele and now Bulan. So she wants to train, of course, but we see now that like everybody is kind of busy. We have Lublock and Tatsumi, they are training by like working out, and we have Akame and Leone, they're helping them as well. And we see now that like Tatsumi, he's like really giving this his all, and you see now that like from his words, he actually moved Mime, and we see from that blush on her face, it's obvious that like she's falling for him. And even though that was not a bad thing, but you could tell something right there can happen in the future. But we see now that like Lubok, even though he was working out with Tatsumi, Tatsumi had done a lot more than him. And we see now that Akame here, she does not know how to watch her mouth, because we see that like when she brings out the difference between her weight and Leone's weight, that right there caused her to get on the head, and that part right there was like really hilarious. I love that scene. But now that all characters were together, we have their boss. She has now come there, and we see now that like she plans on leaving them because she wants to go to the Revolutionary Army base to take in those 3 pair weapons that they got, and to also get some new members as well, because right now they've already lost 2, so they could definitely use some more. And so now we see Akame, she's actually left in charge. And most people might find that surprising, but like Akame can be a pretty good leader. But right now she said that she only understands the basics, and Tatsumi was a bit worried about that. But obviously like they have enough confidence to believe that that Akame can handle this. So it seemed like we had nothing to worry about really. And so now with the boss gone, we see that like she would think about everything that happened so far, and we see now that like word has already gotten back to her about what Esdeath is doing, making her own group and all. And so we see now that like one of our members that kind of like focus on this wave, and this character, I will say that he is awesome. Now as somebody that had read the manga, I can tell you that like most people, they should like Wave, because he's a good character in my opinion. He is definitely my favorite member so far. But we see now that like this guy, he is pretty much like Tatsumi, except he comes from more of a water background than like being part of of nature itself. And we actually learned that like he actually hunts aquatic danger beasts, unlike Tatsumi, who we first saw hunt like earth type ones, I guess you could say. But we see now that like even though he was trying so hard to fit in, he stood out like a sore thumb, and you heard all the people like kind of like talking about him, but finally he just ignored them. And we see now that like he brought all this fish for the people to have for his new teammates. But when he went there, the first one that he saw, it was like this creepy looking guy, and even though he did not want to get intimidated, he got so scared when he first saw this guy that like he closed the door quickly. And that right there was like another funny scene. But now that he went back inside, it was just them 2 at first, but then like over time they were joined by more people, like Kurome, what's that girl named? The one that killed Shele, I forgot her name at the moment. But we also had Dr. Stylish, who I believe is like also gay, especially from the way he was like acting with Wave. But we have Run as well. And the last guy that was like introduced, even though he was the first one there, is actually named Bolas. And so now that they're all together and all kind of like acting like different, because these characters, they are definitely all unique. We have Esdeath like wearing this mask, and she comes in there, and we see now that like at first she does try to provoke them, and when Wave gets up, he is like taken out easily. And we see that like Esdeath threw him into the wall, and that really was funny. But then we have all these characters, like trying to fight her, but it was mainly, well, she attacked Run, and this guy has some pretty good reflexes. And we have that like Justice Crazy Girl, she had tried to attack Esdeath as well with Koro, and she easily fended them off. But then we had Kurama who came in there, and she was the one who had like destroyed her mask, and that right there is when it revealed that it was a Esdeath to them. And so right now, Wave here, I feel bad for the guy because he thinks that he's surrounded by like all these crazy people, and not to mention we have Bolas who had this like very strange appearance, but this guy is like painfully shy. But now they're all together. We see now that like they're all dressed up. Well, they get dressed up and they put them going to like this party. But when he asked them, what they're gonna call themselves, and this right here is kind of where I had like confusion on the way to like say their name. I'm not sure if like Jaegers or something else. But for now, to like somebody tell me to announce that, somebody tell me the correct way to say it, or maybe I am saying the correct way. I'm gonna call them the Jaegers. And so we see that like when they were all together, we have the Justice Girl and Kurome. Well, mainly it was the Justice Girl. She was like talking to Esdeath and asking her what she was doing, mostly in the capital. And Esdeath had been to like up to a numerous bunch of things. But the one thing that like she wanted to do now, it was to fall in love. And that right there, really surprised the females in the group. But we also have Wave here who was like cooking some fish, and Bolas as well. Like Bolas is surprisingly useful as like he could cook as well. And we see now that like Wave here, even though he know how to cook fish, he was actually about to ruin the other dish because he could put in some ingredient in there too early. But after we get to know the Jaegers a little bit more, we go back to Tatsumi, who had now went to Lubok, who's in the working in this shop. But when he went in there, we see now that like they had this secret base, and Leone, she was like actually drunk, and that right there was pretty funny as well, because even though it's possible for them to get caught, we have Leone, just relaxing and having a good time. But now we learn about this tribe here who actually tried to take on the Empire like a few years ago, and this right here is where their boss now. Not Jenda. I'll probably say her name wrong, but you guys know who I'm talking about. We get a flashback of her and Esdeath actually working together, and we see that back then Esdeath already had her 3 beasts. But we see now that this tribe, they were like across this like pretty huge river or ocean. No, like they were across this pretty big river, and we see that like Esdeath power, it is so great that like she froze most of it in an instant, and she actually made a pathway, for her men to get across. And you just see that like they killed mostly everybody, and they also set the village ablaze. And we also learned that like Esdeath can be a pretty sick woman, as we saw that like she had actually kept a few of them alive, and that's because she had wanted them to hate her more to get stronger, and that way they could come back for more revenge. Because Esdeath, she wants war to go on for as long as possible. That's why she like sometimes let her victims live, so that way they could come to hate her more and possibly get her back for like what she's done to them. But now we have Lubok telling Tatsumi about the tournament, and we also have the Prime Minister and the Emperor. When they're like eating dinner together, they're also wondering about Esdeath, and we finally we finally get her list about what her perfect guy is. But pretty much rather than me like saying the requirements one by one, it's pretty safe to say that her perfect guy is Tatsumi, because that literally what it was, and we saw that at the end of the episode. But now we go to the tournament on the next day, and we see now that like Esdeath, she was bored out of her mind, and we see now that like they use a famous figure as a cameo in this episode, because we saw they were like Nobunaga. He was like fighting in a tournament, and he actually won he won the battle. But like Esdeath, she not care about it at all. She was like literally falling asleep while watching that. But then we have Tatsumi turning to fight, and apparently this guy he was fighting, he was like pretty powerful, and even though he was like kicked out of the martial arts school, he was still pretty high rank. But Tatsumi was like able to wipe the floor with this guy, and Tatsumi is definitely getting stronger. He didn't even need like a period arm to defeat this guy. But we see now that like after Tatsumi had won, and he kind of got like out of the zone because he was just so focused on his opponent. We see now that when he won and dropped his guard down, he just had like this pure and innocent smile on his face, and that right there really warmed up Esdeath's heart. And we saw her now get up and we see now that like Run here is kind of like her assistant in a way, especially with the role that like he was playing here in the episode. But Esdeath go down there herself, and we see now that like Tatsumi thinks that maybe she gonna give him the money because we saw her like reaching and into her clothes. Well, she pulls out this collar and she puts it around Tatsumi, and that right there was like really funny. And we just see her dragging him across the floor, and Tatsumi tells her to wait and hold up because obviously he does not want to go with her. But Esdeath doesn't wait, and like this very quick motion, she like chops him in the back of the neck, and that right there was insane because even Tatsumi didn't know what was happening to him, but we saw his body go limp as he fell unconscious. But like Esdeath, she is taking him now back to the palace to her room. So pretty much now Esdeath here is claiming Tatsumi, and we all know how troublesome that can be. But we have Lubok and Leone. They have no idea what's going on, but they go back to Mime and Akame to tell them what happened. And we see now that like that Akame want to change bases because it is possible that, well, to them it's possible that Esdeath might have known who Tatsumi was. So now they're kind of worried, but they can't go right in there and rescue him. So they now have to come. So they now have to come up with a plan, to go out there and get him. But the episode itself, it was pretty good. We got, we definitely got, we definitely got a lot of story progression, and we also got, some pretty good action as well. Tatsumi is definitely stepping it up, and the episode, overall, it was definitely enjoyable. So, in my own personal opinion, I'm probably gonna give it. I'm probably gonna give it an 8.5 or maybe a 9 out of 10. But of course, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this. And as always, please do not forget to like the video and subscribe because it really helps me out. And you guys take it easy, and I will see you all next time.